Welcome to Alchemy with Xerophayze. In this beginner ControlNet tutorial, we are giving an SDXL workflow a structural reference so the generated image follows an arrangement instead of relying on prompt words alone. You will see the same seed with and without control build the Canny path, connect every socket, and learn what strength, start, and end actually change. Here is the tested comparison. The prompt and seed are identical. Without ControlNet, the model invents its own layout. With the Canny control signal, the new Alchemist workshop follows the major edges and placement from the reference while still generating a different image. ControlNet improves structural adherence. It does not guarantee the same subject identity or a pixel-for-pixel copy. The reference image first passes through Detect Edges, the Canny node. Its blue image input receives the source pixels. The low and high thresholds decide which edges survive. The output is a simplified control map, not the final picture. Saving that map during testing makes it much easier to understand what information ControlNet is actually receiving. Load the matching ControlNet model next. This workflow uses an SDXL Canny model with an SDXL checkpoint. Model family and control type both matter. An SD 1.5 ControlNet model is not a drop-in replacement for an SDXL checkpoint, and a pose model is not a Canny edge model. The purple ControlNet output connects to the ControlNet input on Apply ControlNet. Apply ControlNet also receives the Canny map through its blue image input. Positive and negative conditioning enter from the prompt encoders, and the node returns modified positive and negative conditioning to the sampler. The original model connection still goes directly from the checkpoint to Camper. ControlNet changes the conditioning. It does not replace the diffusion model. Strength controls how firmly the generated image follows the map. This tested value is 0.85. Start percent is 0, so control is active from the beginning of sampling. End percent is 0.8, so the final portion of sampling has more freedom to resolve texture and detail. Lower strength or an earlier end gives the model more freedom. Higher strength and a later end hold the structure more tightly, but can also make the result rigid or carry unwanted edges forward. The remaining sampler path is familiar. The checkpoint model enters K-Plamper, the ControlNet modified conditioning enters positive and negative, and empty latent image supplies the canvas. The latent result passes through VA Decode and Save Image. Use a fixed seed when comparing settings. If the seed, prompt, model, and control map all change together, the comparison cannot tell you which setting caused the difference. If the result ignores the reference, inspect the saved control map first. Weak or missing edges cannot guide the image. Then confirm that the checkpoint and ControlNet model families match. The control map reaches the image input, and strength is above 0. If the result looks stiff or overtraced, reduce strength or end the control earlier. Change one variable at a time. ControlNet is best understood as another influence, not an absolute lock. The prompt describes what should appear, the checkpoint supplies learned visual behavior, the seed initializes the noise, and the control map pushes the composition toward a structure. Match the right model to the right map, keep the test fixed, and use the weakest control that solves the layout problem. You now have a complete beginner Canny ControlNet workflow. Reference pixels become an edge map, the matching control model modifies conditioning, and the normal SDXL sampler turns that structure into a new image. If this helped, subscribe to Alchemy with Xerophayze for practical AI workflows that explain both the connections and the trade-offs.